Okay, so alive. Welcome back to the Magic Minds podcast. I'm Matt Burke. You're watching and listening to the Liberties #1 podcast. Yup the Liberties, yup the Flats. So we got through the series of Yup the Flats. We had some amazing guests: Tony May, Maisie, Paul Keogh. Who else, Andy?
Can't remember.
Jeez, we had some. They were so brilliant. We can't even remember them. Mick Flanagan, Mick Flanagan, Mick Finnegan.
Don't call him Flanagan. Finnegan.
Fuck, he's a ginger. Doesn't matter. Mick Flanagan, and then we had Liz O'Connor. Some amazing guests. I truly believe that. We have some inspirational people in the Flats. We got rave reviews about that series. So we're back to interviewing people with amazing stories, nearly back to where I started off. You know, I have a huge passion for people's stories, specifically around trauma, grief, loss, how people survive after such events. And on today's show, I'm interviewing a local lad, friends of the show, friend of Andy, friend of myself, Darren Creighton. Darren, what's the crack, pal?
How's it going, Matt?
Absolutely honoured to have you on the show, buddy.
Thanks.
Guys, I've asked Darren to come on the show. Darren has lost 2 kids. Dale was murdered, and then the passing of his daughter, Danielle. This is going to be a difficult episode for me, for Darren to talk about it, you guys that are going to listen to it. So mind yourself when you listen to this, mind yourself after, and if there's anything in here that triggers you or brings anything up, please get in contact with us. We'll maybe point you in the right direction for supports or talk to somebody in your family or your community. So that's just a warning to mind your little self, because these conversations, as much as I like to lean into the sharp edges of pain, I've done a lot of work around this, so just be careful and gentle with yourself. So look, as all interviews that I do now, there's no preparation. I know some stuff around Darren's story with his kids, but I want to hear it first off. So look, wherever you want to start, just tell us a little bit about life for you.
Life's been difficult in the past couple of years. As you know, Dale was murdered 2014, and then Danielle's passing last October, so it's still very raw at the moment, you know.
Right.
Bit difficult to put into words, but
Absolutely. As a father, as a human being, I can't even imagine what that's like. Do you mind sharing us around some of the details or whatever you want to share with the...
well, Dale was murdered
Yeah.
in 2014. 7 lads and 1 girl kicked him to death in Tallaght on the footbridge in Tallaght on New Year's Eve. I was in work that night. Got a phone call the following morning. Said Dale was in Beaumont and needed to go out. Went out. Dale was in an awful state. And the next day then just decided that there was no activity, no brain activity. And he decided to turn the machine off. It was devastating for everybody. Every one of his family. Just horrendous. It's a nightmare you never want to go through.
Yeah. And here's the question: how did you get through it? What was it like? Give us an insight to what life was like going through something like that.
Back then I kind of think I just blocked it out. I didn't think of pain or anger or anything like that. It was just get on with it and live with it. And then we had Danielle. We were just thinking of Danielle, trying to get through it. Just day by day. It was step by step. It wasn't just an instinct thought. Just I have to get through it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, like, you know, when the pass of Dale, the court case and all that, like...
but every year since with them getting locked up, and every single year just one of them has got out. So every single year since Dale's passing, we've had it dragged back up again.
Right.
Between the court case was years later, then he got locked up, and then when he was locked up ever since that, every year every one of them got out. Now they're all out walking around now free.
So they all got gone to court. Tell us a little bit about that there.
Well, they all got from a year to 7 year, and then so that meant for the 7 years then after Dale's passing, we had torture of them getting out of prison every time, getting a phone call or seeing it on social media. They're out.
Why so little of a sentence?
'Cause
Why a year to the 7-year talk?
The justice, this country, Justice Murphy decided that's what the sentence they deserved. But at the end of the day, they dragged Dale up and down that bridge. They murdered them, and they got a sentence like that. It's just horrendous.
How did they justify that? What was the rationale for a year?
No, she just didn't. She just that was it. That whole word was law, and that was it.
What was their case? What was their defence? What was the like?
Well, they all had. Some of them were never in trouble before, and one of them had a kid, and
Were they done for murder or manslaughter?
no, they were getting done for murder all the way up, and then eventually got done for manslaughter. So it's just ridiculous. And then one of them got off for a knife and all. Said he hadn't got one, but he had got one. You know, it's just kangaroo court over there. That's all it is.
Yeah, there was talk about that Dale had a knife or something like that, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it turned out he hadn't. The transport Dale hadn't. So Dale had cuts on his hand from dragging at a knife.
Did he know any of these people? Or?
No, knew none of them. He was walking back after a party, New Year's Eve, Tala Village. Whatever happened, one word led to another. They started chasing him over the footbridge. He fell, and then when he fell, they dragged him down the steps by his feet. And his head hit every step going down.
Jesus Christ.
We seen it. Everyone's seen it. Well, all the family seen it on CCTV. It was all captured on CCTV, the whole lot. So we had to go and watch that in Tala police station before the trial, because they reckon you have to see it, because there's no point in looking at it in court. It upsets you too much. So it upsets you every time you watched it. So everything we seen, them picking him up, throwing him onto the ground, dragging him down the steps, we watched the whole lot. And a whole lot of it was on CCTV. And then she still gave them that sentence, even after saying it. Like, she still took their word for how good they are. So a few of them, not going to give names now, have since they got out been in trouble. Still, to this day, they're still getting in trouble. They got into trouble while on bail. One of them in particular broke bail 5 times. And every time he went back up, she kept saying, no, I'll give it another chance. And then near the end, just before sentencing, they had enough of him, they put him into custody.
Really?
Yeah. None of them learned a lesson.
Yeah.
No remorse.
No, Jesus Christ. What kind of feelings, emotions, what was going on for you around that time? Like seeing your child in this video, and as a father.
Oh, it was horrendous. It's not a nice thing to look at. Then you have to go to court and you have to stand beside them. Their parents, their uncles, their aunties, and everyone's standing beside you. Tension is on running high.
Anger, frustration.
Just anger. We should not have been in the courtroom with their family. We should have been separated from everybody else. Not saying that we're special to everyone else, but we should have been kept away from our family.
Like that, yeah, like the humanic thing to do would be to put you through more trauma to do that.
Oh, the court was a nightmare. Listening to everyone's statement and having to watch everything and going over everything.
Was it like hearing it again and again and
Every
again
day
and
was the
again?
same, yeah. I had to stop for a couple of days going because it was just too much. I wasn't able to go every day.
Yeah, you couldn't sit through it.
I couldn't just sit through it. It was horrendous listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely shocking. What got you through it? What?
Well, I think good family, good friends. That's basically
Yeah.
family, friends, mostly family. But
Did you get counselling, support?
I went to counselling for a couple of weeks. Didn't really find it. Found it okay, but I wouldn't say a loner, but I like my own self, not to try to sort things out, rather than trying to sort it with other people. But yeah, I did go. I tried it because I went a bit off the head. Understandable, but look, it was just a family basically.
Yeah, when you say off the head, you mind asking?
Just drinking, running amok, and usual shite.
Just trying to avoid the
Trying
pain.
to avoid the pain, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with a good partner as well, so she kind of reins me in, should we say.
well done.
Mind your runners.
How
Yeah.
how were you treated by the police, the guards? How was that for you?
Well, the guard in question was a guard called Kieran Kilcoyne, and he was the other officer. He was the arresting officer. He was the main officer, and another officer. I actually forget his name out, Tala. And they all said to me, "Please don't do that. Please, leave it to the police. Put faith in the justice system." So the day that verdict came out, they all just looked at me and went, "What can I do? We're sorry. We're really, really sorry." I said, "Look, it's not your fault either. They tried everything to get them into custody. They tried everything, and every door they opened, the judge slammed it back in their face. She literally done.
What? Like, I'm still trying to get my head around that. Why?
I don't know. I really don't know why. I really don't know why she saw justice fit to get them that. And you see one punch victims and all. It's just stupid,
Yeah.
What the sentence they got wasn't right. Because, as I say, if she's seeing what I seen on CCTV. So it's not as if everyone's making it up.
Yeah, like she would have saw what was going on.
Well, in the beginning when I heard that many people done it, I don't know, as a father you'd like to think someone was going to pick up for your son.
Yeah.
So I thought, with that many people there, one of them had to try to stop the other fella from kicking, which is natural. If you were with a gang of people out drinking and someone was kicking someone in the head, you'd stop that with a fella from doing it. I'd try it anyway.
There wasn't any of that.
There was none that. They all just jumped. And they were pushing each other aside to kick him. Yeah, they were pushing each other aside.
Was there not the excusing this? Like, were they, drunk, drugs?
I'd say both.
Right.
I'd say both. It'd have to be.
No, that's not excusing their behaviour, and there's no excuse for it.
But,
Just like
what you
how
done to
could
him,
they?
you wouldn't do it to an animal. If you done it to an animal, you'd be locked up for the RSPCA.
And there was no grievance with him. There's no history. It was just a random attack.
Random attack.
Just some fella, he was out with his girlfriend.
He wasn't even out with his, well, he was out with his girlfriend earlier on, yeah.
Yeah, and they just seen him and just attacked.
Yeah. Well, they were known to do this in that area anyway. That part of Tala.
Right, so they just hang around with anyone's boy, they jump on him.
Bullies.
Was there an appeal or anything like that? Like, was the...
The fella who got the 7 year, he appealed. He said he got too much.
What?
Yeah, he said he got too much.
Was he done for manslaughter?
Manslaughter. He got 7 year.
What did the other lot get? What were they given?
I have it all bit down. From a year up to 7.
But what was there? Just
Like, they all got 10
helping?
year. They all got 10 year. All of them got 10. But then she's saying, like, do I get jobs and do I go out getting probation reports? Sure, anyone can do that when you have a church. You know, like, I'm working the past year. I will give him 2 years less.
Yeah.
But they got 10, times mandatory 10 for manslaughter. And then it's down to the judge to see fit where everyone else takes off that.
It's
So if he had a kid, he'd get a year off. You had 2 kids, you get 2 years off. And go to probation, you get another year off. Before you know it, you're 5 years off your 10 year. That means you're only doing probably 4. Because of probation in this country, or the leniency here as well.
Yeah. It's unreal, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
how did you swear? So what happened? Tell us about the appeal. What was the...
Well, he only appealed. He went to court and he got, I think he got a year or year and a half off. Because the others got less than him, he said that they were the same as him. But he was the ringleader.
Right.
He was the one that picked them up and dragged them down. There was
Right.
2 of them in particular. And none of them even had any remorse. You could see it in them.
And they're all out now.
They're all out now. They're living their lives. We're not.
No.
Dale's birthday the 14th of August. Every 14th of August, you always think of him.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, you think about him every day.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
single
but
morning
just-
you wake up, you think of Dale. And yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is there ever like
No,
a gap, a
No.
peace, a quiet? No.
no. The only time you get a quiet one would be if you're, say you go for a pint with your friends or something. But then you'd look around and see other blokes drinking with their mates and you say, geez, that should be Dale or Danielle. Should be something, there's always something to remind you. I'd walk by Meath Street Church and just, excuse me, say people coming out with christenings. You know, you'd say to yourself, well, that should be Dale.
Marked events like Christmas,
Christmas.
birthdays,
But Danielle's birthday
24th.
is Christmas, so that's another
How old would he be now?
27.
27.
He was 20 when he died.
Yeah.
21 that year. So we didn't even get 21st with him.
Right.
I'll never get to see grandkids. Never get to see nothing because they took everything.
And that's on your mind day and night, day and night.
Day and night.
And then, as we know, and I work in brain injury, I work in trauma, that doesn't just affect you, that affects your brother, your ma, your partner.
It affects everyone because some days you have good days and you have bad days. And the bad days is when everyone else gets a bad person. And then they're in bad humour because you're in bad humour.
Yeah, I was only saying this to Andy, you know, we were talking about you, and I says, I'm sure there's bad days, and there's really bad days, and then there's days that there's not bad days and really bad days, it's just one of them days.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's all sunshine.
No, you never really get a good day anymore. It's not a
No,
good day.
it's just is not as severe as the day before.
Yeah, well, they say time heals all wounds, but I don't know. There's not enough time at the moment now. For him.
No. You talked about, you know, leaving it to the justice system. Was there ever a point where you wanted to take her into your own hands?
Every day when they're over there looking at them. Every day when they're over there looking at them. And they're laughing and joking and they're sneered and, you know, it's kind of, it's bitter, you know, it's very hard for you to look at.
How did you stop yourself? How did you...
Because every police over there stood in front of me. All the police made sure to stand around you. Because they obviously thought I was going to do something, but I wasn't.
Right.
I was there for Dale, I wasn't there to cause trouble.
Right.
You know?
Even to this day, does that still harbour inside you? Is there still anger?
Oh, there's a lot of anger. The anger never go away for the likes of them.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive them.
No.
As I said to you before, they haven't only took Dale's life, they took hers. You took my whole family's life.
Yeah.
Like, it affects my brothers, it affects everyone. My partner, it affects everyone.
Absolutely. Did the family ever, did you speak to them? Was there any apology? Was there any...
No remorse over any of them.
There
No remorse.
There wasn't even one out of
I
one...
forget a letter now. I forget, actually, I could look her up and looked up the court response. One of the letters they wrote, was sorry for doing it to Dale. Not even like sorry to the Creighton family or, you know, nothing. Just
There was no
the way it was even
acknowledgement.
writ.
Yeah.
I said, the solicitor should have had the decency to
to put it in
I don't
grammatical
even think the
order.
solicitors wanted to represent them, because the way this, the whatever you call them, police statements, I know that, like, you give it, I'm sorry for doing it and I didn't mean to do it. The stuff he written was just mad. Like, I'm sure the solicitor should look at it and go, you can't put that in it.
And did he not like check it?
No, that's what
does
I'm
it
saying.
not? Does it not go through him?
I thought it
Did
would,
he
but
read it out?
No, he did read it out, yeah. I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd imagine it would have been, but no, he let it go through.
Absolute shit show.
Yeah. The whole lot of it was.
It's an absolute joke. I still can't get my head around the judge.
Yeah.
You know, like, how did they think this was okay? Like, obviously, as you said, the videos.
Well, she said she had looked over it on the weekend. On the weekend before the sentencing, she had spent the weekend looking over all these evidence and all this stuff and all. And so I think they are drinking a glass of wine looking at this, looking at what sentences they're going to give them. But she's not looking at us in court, like his mother, his father, family again. Like, but she's not looking at us going, jeez, look what they're going through. Never mind them having a kid. In 10 years' time, they can be out, they can have their lives. Like, they had 21sts, birthdays, Christmas, they'll have kids, christenings, communions. We'll never have any of that. Never. And as I said to you earlier, you'll always think of them things, always stupid things you'll think of.
There's no release from it. There's no getting away.
No.
And as you said, and there's no judgment in it. Few points helps to ease it a little bit and it numbs it somewhat. But then, as you say, you'll see what
down off the drink.
Yeah.
So.
And even when you're out having a pint, you're triggered by people in the pub. You know, whether they're celebrating or who did he support as a football team? Is he? Yeah, so you're watching the pool, and then obviously that's on your mind.
Yeah.
Are you a pool supporter as well?
No.
Jesus, that's all right. Did you find any support from people in our own area, from around here, that have lost children?
I don't know, I'm not just saying this for you know, but I find a lot of people from around didn't know what to say. They just kind of turn their head when they say it. They really don't know what to say. It's not that they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's just they don't know what they really don't know what to say to you. Yeah. And then the people that you would be close to turn around and say to you, Darren, look, I don't know what to say to you. It was like they were avoiding me, you know, avoiding the situation. I'd probably do the same myself. And I'd always get people saying, look, you're always on my mind. I'm always thinking of you.
Yeah.
But, like, that's kind of the stuff you get. But you know, they do mean it. They mean well, but they hide it. Because as you know, there's a lot of hidden feelings around here.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the girls from Shannon's Hope Line, Lisa and Sandra, you know, in the passing of Shannon, you know, they say that people that cross over the road, you know, people that they know,
that's what I'm saying,
to avoid them, not to speak it.
I find that.
Yeah, because you know, sitting or standing talking to you, they're going to be faced with pain. They're going to be looking at your pain, and it's hard to hold for people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what that's like now,
Yeah.
and if I was to lose a family member, it'd be a little easier for you because we have something in common. People are like, I don't know what to say to them. They feel it for you, but they just don't know how to express it.
I find that now an awful lot.
Yeah.
Only family behind the ones that have been, and then even that sometimes family look at you and go, I don't know what to say to you. I really don't know, so I don't know what you're going through.
Because I truly believe that they're so wanting to help that they don't know how to help, and then they're just stuck.
But as you know yourself, there are no words that can ease the pain.
No.
The pain is going to be there no matter what they say or do.
What would help?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you find it awkward as well when people come up and talk to you as well?
No, not really, not now. Not so much now as what I did in the beginning. But I don't think anything would help. The pain is there and that's it. As you say, it'll heal, that's about it. But nothing would help. If they got life, it wouldn't have helped. Still wouldn't have helped. Even if they got life, they were all knocked down by a bus tomorrow, it still wouldn't help.
No.
Dale's gone. No matter what we do now, Dale is never coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't think, that's in my head, and he's never ever going to come back.
Did you feel guilty as a father? You know, I know he was up there and you were down here, that you didn't protect him, or was there guilt, shame that you've lost?
That bit of guilt. Like I was saying that I was walking in Drumcondra that night doing door work, and I finished work at, I think, about 2:30, and I was driving home from Drumcondra. I had the car parked over there, so I drove home. I didn't have to drink around, and I was kind of always said to myself, if you would have rang me and said, Dad, look, I'm in a bit of bother here, can you drive up to the village to me and get me? I would have drove up. Instead, I drove home and had a drink in the house then when I got in. It was about 2:30 when I got in. 3 even. And I'd always say to myself, if you would have rang me, I was driving, I wasn't even drunk that night. No, normally you would have been out for the bells, you would have had a few drinks.
Yeah.
This night I happened to be walking. So I would have been sober and I could have picked them up.
So there's loads of them if, maybe,
Loads of
what
ifs and
if.
buts in your head. Loads of ifs and buts.
Does that keep running over and over again like a train,
Yeah.
ruminating, thinking, what if, da, da, da,
You
da.
have loads of what ifs. Loads of them.
Yeah,
Full of what ifs. Full of them.
just keeps churning.
Yeah. The last day I was staying him, I think it was Stephen's day, he came down. And I actually dropped him home then. And I went to work then after because I didn't work all that Christmas. And that was the last time I seen him.
Right,
Getting out of the car that time, Stephen's day. I spoke to him since on the phone.
right,
Even that night I texted him, Happy New Year, pal. He says, same to you. That I have it as a tattoo on my leg there.
right.
Because that was the last phone call. Last text I ever got, it was on my leg there and it was a tattoo.
Does stuff like that and the conversations, does that bring you some ease? Does it?
Some days talking about him helps a little bit, tell you the truth. A
Yeah.
little bit of ease. And then other days, whatever's in your mind, you can't talk.
Yeah,
You know, some days you can open up and some days you can't.
yeah,
It depends on your whatever humour you're in.
yeah, true. Do you ever think about starting a support group, or did you attend any support groups for
No.
fathers? And
No,
no,
no. Maybe in time to come I would, but
not yet.
not yet.
Like, even this process, is this like...
This is
it-
hard.
This is extremely hard as well. Yeah, it's hard for me, and I can only imagine what it's like for you.
Yeah, it is hard.
Because in order to, when you talk about it, you're going to bring the feelings up and the emotions up, and it's like experiencing, again, like what you said, watching them videos. It's
Yeah.
like you're replaying and replaying and
You
replaying
know,
it.
I would have loved it. I do pieces with a guy in Paul Heaney in the Star. And I tried to get the video footage for him. I'd love to put it into the Star and let people view it themselves. And let that judge be judged for what she done.
And can you not?
I've tried. I'm going to try again and get it. I'd love to put it in. Like, say, for instance, you go onto a website on the Star's page. So it's down to every individual if you wanted to look at it.
Do you have the piece?
No.
Or you're just trying to
The
obtain it?
superintendent has it.
And can
yeah.
you not get that off
No,
them?
no. Well, I was told after they were all out I could. And sure, the superintendent's gone now that told me that. So I'll have to reopen the whole case again now to try to get it back.
And are you going to do that?
I want to try, yeah. I'd love to do it. I'd love for everyone that likes yourself or Andrew just to sit and look at it and go, well, how did that judge see fit to give him 2 years after doing that?
Like, my stomach is turning, even the thoughts of having to watch that video.
Yeah,
So I
mine
can
was
multiply that by a couple of million.
Yeah.
For you to sit there and watch that.
Well, yeah, he said you had to because when you go to court, it was played over and over and over in court. So if you're sitting there, now a few of the family members had to go and walk out and they couldn't watch it. But I'd love for other people to see it, to let them see
Yeah.
what he went through, and then for her to turn around and go, well, no, I don't think I deserve this.
I'm going,
People do less and go up and get 10 years.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm sitting here going, like, how do you sleep at night? How does that judge, like, how is it, like, I work in trauma and I work as a professional. How as a professional could she lie at night and go, I got that right?
Because that's her job. She
But,
thinks she's right.
does she honestly think that's, it just sounds,
Well, there was uproar.
it sounds dodgy.
Yeah, well,
Do you think it's a bit dodgy?
Yeah. Well, when they got the sentence, I says, I wonder if anything related to the judge or something, you know, something.
Like, I can't accuse anyone of that or like that, but to me it just sounds ropey. It smells fishy.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with it being on video. Especially with the video. Because they're not only... Like, they had pled not guilty on the grounds, and then when they knew they had the video, then they went guilty. They said that wasn't them, and then they had video footage. And he goes, well, that wasn't you, how was that you there? You know,
yeah,
it's not right.
Jesus, it's really inconsistent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the whole judicial system, like, it's...
And then you have another fella up at that robbing a loaf of bread or something and milk, and he get a year or 2 years. He gets the same as like a woman's that getting.
Like, it's not bad enough that you lose your son murdered and then having to deal with that, and then, you know, the inequality of that.
Yeah, well, as I said, it was uproar when they got sentences, uproar.
But still, it wasn't changed.
No. I thought the DPP would have brought it back and said, no, it's not right, but they never even bothered.
Did she get moved, or did
No,
that
she's still over
happen, or...
Oh, she's still over there.
So I don't know, maybe I get that video and then... That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
this is why I wanted the video, for people to see it. Because when they see it, you go to yourself, how, like,
How
you're saying what I'm saying, so how are you justifying that?
How'd she rationalise that?
Yeah.
How did she... What was her...
I don't know. But as I say, like, probation reports, and they have kids and they're getting jobs, and so if you get an apprentice, so you can get off for it.
I know. I remember a mate of mine. He lives around here. He's not made anymore, but he was a drug dealer when I was doing my shady dealing. But he was in court, and the thing got adjourned. She was doing sentencing later on. I went out and I rang someone that I know to give me a letter to say that he's starting a job there. I went off to a print shop, printed it off, and he was due to get 3 years for a load of gear he had. And she suspended the sentence because of this letter.
Yeah.
And it was just a bullshit made up letter now.
Yeah.
Like that was 10 years ago. Like
Well, if you remember 10 years ago, people used to go to the local priest. Says the priest gives a letter, father. He couldn't tell you we're wrong.
which?
The local priest used to give you letters years ago.
Was it, yeah?
Down to court, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that counted for something because he was a pillar of the community. But now it doesn't because obviously over the years people have copped to the father trying to give you any letter. And, you know,
Yeah.
away you go. But it's the way it is, and that's what they done. They played the game. They played the system.
It's terrible, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just fucking shocking, isn't it?
They played the system.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't get my mind around. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, Darren, your daughter Danielle,
Danielle's been going through a lot of her own personal issues.
right,
Danielle she had her own little demons in her head.
right,
And Danielle decided to take her life there in October. Gone. But I reckon that was, I'm not saying it was, but Dale would have been a big factor in it. Myself, being a father, probably played a bigger part in it. I'm not doing the right things around by her, but I don't know. I'll never know. But I reckon Dale's factor was a big factor in Danielle. Family splitting up, things like that and all. There was a lot of things going on in the poor little girl's life. And
look, it's never one thing, is it? It's usually an accumulation
yeah, but I think the main factor was Dale. And she felt no one loved her then. Her brother was gone, you know, and then just didn't feel she wanted to be here. The demons kicked in.
Right. And
She let her feelings take over. I always say, never let your feelings take over your mind. Your mind is what tell your feelings what to do.
right,
If you wake up in the morning, go to work, your feelings will tell you, ring in there and ring in sick day, we lie on for another hour. Your mind will tell you now, grow up, come on, we have to make money. So don't let your feelings overrule your mind.
wow. And she always struggled with mental health difficulties.
She not always struggled, but she wouldn't have been the strongest when it came to mental health.
She had her battles.
Yeah, she had demons. We all have demons, but it's learning how to control the demons.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ, I can only imagine what that was like for you, for her. You know, people say, you know, after, you know, losing children and how do you go on? Has it ever crossed your mind, how will I go on? Or do you know what, I don't want to go on?
No, well, see, basically I wouldn't have the balls to do it, to tell you the truth. Something I wouldn't have the balls to do. Now, maybe if a demon came into my mind, it's a different story, but for now I haven't got it.
Right.
I don't have them demons. Lucky enough I don't have them. But people will always come up to you and say, how do you do it? How do you carry on?
How do you do it? And how do you carry on? I want to know that.
No one knows. It's a daily thing. You grow up, you go to work and just you carry on.
Have you always been like that? As whenever you felt, or whenever you faced battles and trouble throughout your life, was that always your attitude in life?
Yeah, just get on with it. I'm not one for cribbing and crying, just get on with it. You've no choice.
Where's that came from? Where did you get that from? What do you attribute that to?
Growing up in the Liberties.
Yeah, look, I truly believe that this area has given me so much resilience. I have a lot of trauma as well in my life, but it's also taught me a lot of resilience, strength, character, personality, call it whatever you want. I do attribute to being from here. Do you think that's a big factor?
I think it's a big factor for being from here.
Yeah.
And everyone around here is just get up and get on with it. No one sits and cries about things. Just you get up, put the breakfast on and shut up.
Go for a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, stupid things like
Yeah.
say God gives us hardest battles to the strongest soldiers.
Is that something that you practice? Were you interested in religion or?
No, not really. No, we're all altar boys now, in fairness, in Mead Street. And
Yeah.
we were small, you know, but I don't think I ever wanted to pursue the career after that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But look, I don't know. I don't have an answer to tell you. Like, how do you get up in the morning? How do you know?
That's
what do you do? Do you lie in bed all day?
You just get on with
You
it.
either lie in bed crying and there's not a night that I don't go to bed. Don't get me wrong. Thinking about that. Yeah. There's not a morning that I don't wake up thinking why have a little shine in the bedroom
Yeah.
with their ashes in it in the wardrobe, and if I ever want them, they're there. Now, I know it could be a bit heart-wrenching for other people, but
No.
I used to have them in the sitting room. But every time someone come in, every single time someone come in, they go, look at them. So I moved them into the bedroom and I built a little press for them, their own little shrine basically, with little cards and little stuff people give me over the years, you know, with Dale and that.
Yeah.
And I just put them in there, and then when I want them, I go to them. Because as I said, I couldn't deal with the grief of every single time someone come in. Someone comes in with a drink, and their last orders in the pub, and we all go back to the house. Do everyone that walks in, they go, look at them.
Yeah.
No, nah, yeah. I'm not listening to this now, I'm bleeding time.
And here's the thing, and I've noticed this and I heard this, and just talking to me ma tonight about this very same subject. Did you then feel like you had to mind people? Like, you know, like you were going through your trauma, then they see it and then they start falling apart and crying and...
Well, sometimes you would, but not all the time, you know what I mean? It's just, no one really shows their weakness now around me. Do you always say, you're dealing with enough. You have enough to deal with.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Do you always say, everyone says that to me. You have enough to be dealing with. Don't be worried about it.
So people have been emotionally sound with you.
Yeah.
Like not dumping their shit on you, knowing that you're going through enough stuff.
No, everyone always says to me, no, look, you've your own troubles, don't be worried about mine. Everyone says that to me.
Wow.
My whole family say that, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have enough, don't be worried about it. No one should have went through what you went through.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
they all know, they say it to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, we have our good days, we have our bad days.
So...
Now, I have more bad than good, but that's the problem. But, look, to grin and bear it, you have no choice. Whether that go down and jump in the liffey.
Yeah, Jesus, fucking hell, it's bleeding scruffy and it's
And
freezing.
it's freezing.
Yeah, like I was saying to myself when I want to take my life by suicide, and my mate goes, you just want the pain to stop, and I said, yeah, I do actually. And he goes, plus he says, you don't like the cold, and the chance are you won't die straight away, and it's going to be fucking cold in there. I was like, I'm not going to jump in there then, so. But,
no, as I said earlier, it's not really a thing I have at the moment. I don't have them demons. Look, in 5 years, no one knows. You could have the demons in 5 years. And you could have the demons in 5 years. For now, I don't have them.
yeah, and as you said, you were on the gargle, and you just pulled the plug on that. You did.
No, I still have a few gargles.
I don't mean that you gave up, but I mean, but you stopped going bananas on it. And
yeah, you don't just ease up a bit and control yourself. But in the beginning with Dale, I used to always have Dale, I have Danielle. I used to have one. Now it's two, and it's kind of just bitter. It's just horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah. And
then one was murder, which is bad enough. They took his life, and then the other one was a suicide. The demons took her life. She wanted to go, he didn't want to. So I have one side of dealing with trauma and one the other side, because it's two different type of things. He didn't want to go.
Right.
They would have been still here, annoying everyone. Doing everyone's head in.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about him actually. Tell us like what he was like.
Funny character. Just lively, bubbly, never sat easy. Always up doing something.
Not like Sean, he's not fucking very funny.
No. But yeah, he was very funny. He could lighten up a party, say.
Good bit of crack.
He was, good bit of crack at the party, yeah.
Deadly.
But Danielle was very quiet, very quiet. You could put Danielle in the room, people, she wouldn't talk. You put Danielle in the room, people, he'd be dancing. You know, chalk and cheese, like, but they got on great. Well, they didn't really go on great, but they did it in their own way, you know.
Yeah, just like siblings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look out for each other, but then fucking want to kick the head out of each other.
Like years ago when you'd be washing delf, you couldn't wash delf together. You had to separate them. One would wash and the other would dry, so you had to keep them out of the room, but you'd be killing each other in the room.
Really?
Yeah. Just kids being kids, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, brothers and sisters, they're like that, aren't they? Just fucking, they kill anyone if they touch them, but they kill each other as well.
Yeah, that's the way they were now.
Yeah. There's another question I wanted to ask, just at the slip in my mind. You have a cycle coming up for Shannon's Hope Line, and
yeah, Darren Gray is...
Tell us a bit about that work.
Darren Gray was doing a cycle for his dad. His dad committed suicide there a few years ago, and Sabrina rang me and said it to me. I said, I wouldn't mind being part of that. If Darren had let me, I'd jump on board with him. A few sponsors, and then Shannon's Hope Line, I think, is one of the best places around here. She's one of our own. And especially because it was that, I said, right, I'd love to do it, and I jumped on board, and lucky enough, Darren said, yeah, you can do it with me. Now, I'm not fit enough to cycle, as you know. So Alfie, Sean and Derek is doing it. Well, they said they'll do it, so we'll see what happens. It's a big cycle, it's a big kind of put onto someone.
Where is it from, Dublin to Kilkenny?
From the top of to Kelly's Bridge there, not at Kelly's Bridge there, from there to Kilkenny. It's a long cycle. So we're going to drive in the van, and every 10k we'll stop and we'll have a bus.
How many have you got going on it?
I think he has 40 something so far.
Right.
See, you'd have to have fit ones.
Andy, you ready to get your three-wheeler out? Andy's shaking his head there.
Well, I'm the same. So I said I'll bring the water, set up a table every 10, 20k for water, for drinks, food, whatever. And then whoever that doesn't want it, can't finish it. There's no stigma. Look, you were there, you participated. It's not you're going to be at first place.
Yeah, to be no Sean Roaches or Stephen Kelly's at it now. Yeah,
just jump on the bus. There'll be a bus there, jump on that, and then put the bike in my van. And that's it, then you're done.
Deadly.
I'd probably get to the children's hospital now, I'd be jumping in the van.
How much have you raised, or what are you hoping to raise? Or
Well, I'd say over 10 grand, I'd say you're hoping.
what have you raised so far?
I'm not sure now. I think Darren was saying that's a good bit now.
Do you have a GoFundMe page? Do you have
Just
a
the sponsor card.
knocking around at people's door
Yeah.
with a pencil, get
With
the
a
sponsor
pencil.
and just
And
rub it out?
To rub it out, without just the most.
Do you remember that years ago? You're knocking at people's door and you get a full card and then you just rub it all out and go around again.
Instead of a euro.
Yeah. No, so hopefully do well because it sounds very good cost. Couldn't go to better cost.
Yeah, they do amazing work, don't
Yeah.
they? Like in the area, like grassroots mental health support, and
Yeah.
again, it's true trauma. Like they have experienced the loss of Shannon, and out of that, it's as I call them, they're like alchemists. They've turned lead into gold.
Yeah.
Do you find doing this kind of work, this work
Well,
that
this
you're
is
doing
the
there,
first thing I've done now so far. This will be the first one I've done.
does it help?
No, not yet.
Fucking, do you know what? I love your honesty.
No, not yet.
I love it. I was expecting you to go, yeah, fucking that, and you were like, no, it doesn't.
No.
It's shy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I say, don't
yeah,
it's like-
no, it's fucking, no, it's deadly. I love that. No, it's not. It's not helping. It's fucking, I'm doing it because it's a good thing to do, and other people
doing it
do.
because it's a good thing to do. It's for Shannon, as we know. It's a good cause, and if it raises money for Shannon's helpline, well, it's worth it. But no, it's not helping me at the moment. A lot of old source. Danielle's anniversary isn't even up yet. Danielle will be passed on the 21st of October. The cycle's on the 22nd. Just the way things panned out. It's like it was planned.
Yeah.
So she'll be only a year on the day we'd be down there. Passing that be her anniversary when we're down there.
And what do you do on those? What do you have a certain thing do you do on those events, like whether birthdays or Christmas?
I never had it. I just try.
What do you do specifically on them when you're? How do you prepare for them? Like, why I'm asking that, listeners, audience, going to be listening. Like,
You don't prepare. All of a sudden you're just sitting there. You remember, Jesus, her anniversary is next week. Like I go through a stage of counting how many months Danielle's gone.
do you?
Yeah. Dale the same. Dale is now years and months. Danielle is still only months.
Right.
You know, so Danielle is still very, very raw. Dale hurts me still. Dale hurts me more than that. But Danielle hurts now more because she's only gone. It's like,
Right.
it's like a cycle, do you know what I mean? It's like since 2014, I have not got a break.
Right.
Because Dale passed, they had to go through court. We had to go through court for bail, see what happens. Then things coming through the system, them getting locked up, them getting out. They all only out this year, and Danielle decided then last year that she didn't want to be here anymore. So every single year since 14, we've had tragedy.
Yeah. Before the passing of Danielle taking her own life, were you worried about that? Did you ever have
No.
them fears that she might do it? Did you
A couple of
think?
years ago, yeah, but not now. Not leading up to it. I didn't know. I hadn't a clue.
Right.
Hadn't a clue.
Was
I was
not,
never told. Didn't know. Didn't know what was going on.
right.
Danielle, even when she would come down here to me, she'd hide everything, you know. I was never told. Because you'd only get to see her on weekends or whatever.
And she again obviously didn't want to be
You-
troubling
you
you
wouldn't-
with
yeah.
the shit going on.
And
But
Danielle would be like me. She wouldn't be bothering anyone. She was the type that helped someone before she'd help herself.
yeah.
You know, she was that type of a girl. She would. Great mind. She was a head accountant.
Really.
Yeah. Great job and all.
It's just it just blows your mind, doesn't it? To
Think that she wanted to end her life.
and yeah, and people, you would perceive are doing so well. Sure, she's a head accountant. She has this, has
She has a
that,
boyfriend.
has a boyfriend. Sure, what would you be worried about? What have you to be complaining about? Sure, grand. Your
I
brother.
can't even afford toilet roll. You know, and then you're giving out because you have a job and a fella and a career ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you're only young.
Hey, you've got your whole life ahead. Had she kids?
No. I've no grandkids, none.
Right. Oh yeah, sorry, you said it to me.
So I've nothing. I've no more. It's bad to think that, but something I always look forward to, you know. My granddad was always good to us, so it was like something I wanted to do for mine.
Yeah, and then that's been taken away
And now it's
from
been
you.
taken away both times. So yeah, it is raw.
Right, fuck. For someone or families going through a similar position like you, if you can, what kind of words of wisdom could you
There is
offer
no
them?
words of wisdom. There isn't.
What could help?
I just try. I don't know. It sounds mad, but I put everything to the back of my brain and stays there. Maybe one day it'll come out and I'll end up bleeding hospital 6 or something. But for now, it's at the back of the brain. Don't bring
Just
it out.
push it down,
Yeah,
push it
down.
back.
I haven't dealt with them. I haven't don't deal with them. Maybe it's the wrong thing to do. I don't know. Other people could be crying all the time, but mine just goes to the back of the brain, and I leave it there.
It's what you.
Now, as I said to you earlier, morning, noon, and night. It's not a day goes by that I don't think of Dylan again.
Yeah, like when people hear that, I push it to the back of my mind, and it's not the case. But you know, you're not getting rid of it. You're not. It's memories.
I'm not pushing them aside. I'm pushing the pain of them aside.
Yeah.
I'm pushing the pain of them to the back of the brain. I'm not pushing them.
I was the greatest. You know that game years ago, Bop It? Bop It. Sure, I was a world master at bopping me feelings. Get down there, not listen to that, not listen to you. Get down, get down, get down. It's just not ready. Just not ready to process it yet. Not ready. Like as she just says, you're raw as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're still raw, and it's like as Irvin Yalom, a famous psychotherapist. It's hard to just stare into the sun. You're in the pain, like you're going through trauma. Do you know what I mean? So.
Well, that's what I do, as I say. It's not as if I have blanked them out. I never will.
No.
They're my kids.
But your feelings and your emotions, you're just not ready to deal with that, yeah?
No.
Maybe it's just there's probably a counsellor out there that you could possibly work with or find, someone that could help.
I don't know. I haven't looked down that road yet.
Not yet.
No, I'm not saying I won't, but for now I haven't. Tried it, didn't work, and look, I am where I am now.
It's just about like any kind of tragedy or trauma or difficult period in your life. It's about just, and who was I talking to? The lady in the job today. It's just like a success is just one foot in front of the other sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just waking up next morning.
The other thing as well, man, is that sometimes the first counsellor you go to may not be the one that you're supposed to be with.
I just think I get that, Andy, and I just think time.
Yeah.
Like time is a healer. Time is something else.
Time heals all wounds. All of us need more time.
And here's the thing: you can't rush these things.
No.
You know, people say, "Oh, you should go do your accounts." You'll go when you're ready.
Yeah.
You'll do when you're ready. You know, you are doing. I truly believe you're doing the best you can right now with what you have.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then when you get to another point, you'll do whatever you need to do right then.
Well, as I said, I have a partner there that'll rein me in anyway. It'll always rein me in.
Jesus, I remember her as a kid when we were growing up.
There's no one better than her.
Takes no shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
Takes no shit.
So she wouldn't let you away with it.
I actually remember we were in the fountain one day, a good few years ago, and we were in the Monday Club, and I think you got dragged out.
I don't drink in the Monday Club.
Not anymore. You probably don't. But you fucking did. Me and my mate D Collins were in the fountain, and you were there having a few points for us.
That's probably on a week bender.
A week bender, and I think our ma came in then, and I think you got dragged out. And
fucking
them's where the day is.
Bring back the fountain.
Bring back the fountain. Yeah.
Andrew knows she holds me shoes.
She what?
We had a joke last week on thing.
On what?
I put up Sabrina won't let me out, so she hid me.
Are you in a WhatsApp group?
He was. Are we on a move for? Where are we going?
Oh, I can't remember.
We're going to one of them Kevin Barry reunions with them.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Kevin Barry?
The
comedian?
No, the IRA fucking Republican night in.
Oh. Kevin Barry.
Oh, okay.
Killed in the Rising.
Sorry about
We're going out to them.
I didn't know this.
The statue unveiling of him. So I'm going with them, but he was in having a point on a Monday. And I says to him, I'd go only for Sabrina's had to hide my shoes. I can't even get out of the gaff.
Hide my shoes.
But as I
It's
say,
a running joke.
yeah.
You don't see.
It's not a running joke because I've no shoes.
Whee! No pun intended. It's a running. Come here. What's the one thing you'd like people to take away after listening to this interview and listening to your story?
I don't know. There's life after tragedy. You can carry on, even though the tunnel looks fucking bleak at the time. There is light at the end of every tunnel. It just depends on how fucking long your tunnel is. At the moment, my tunnel is a couple of miles long. I will come out of it. I know I will. It's just, there is light. Speak to you. As I said in the beginning, there's good family, good friends. That's what you need around you. And that's what's bringing me through the tunnel. It's like they're all the driving the train and I'm coming through it. They're the ones driving it, carrying me through it.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. I think it's fucking fantastic. But I've never spent this amount of time with you before, and hearing you talk and your attitude and your determination, you're a fantastic human being. Your attitude, I know people are saying you're bopping down your feelings, but
No, I'm not popping. I have feelings. Don't get me wrong. I have more feelings than anybody else.
But I mean, just your strength of character, your resilience, I'm not saying you're denying your feelings and emotions. I just think you're an incredibly strong human being. And I think you're probably helping your family through it more than you know either as well,
But they all took it hard, They did. But, look, what do
Like
we do?
even doing this, like even coming out, your daughter and passing not so long ago.
That's hard. That's the hardest one.
Yeah, like I mean that takes serious courage and resilience, and the fact that you says there, why, or what did you say, it was a cracker? Why would you not carry on, or how do you not carry on? How do you get on, and how do you not?
Yeah.
Like how do you not get up and lace your boots in the morning and
how do
keep
you
going?
You have to. You've no choice.
See that you say that like so flippantly, other
That-
people don't
that's
do
normal, but like that is normal.
for you and I.
Yeah, when you wake up in the morning, it's bright out. You get up,
Yeah, some people
brush your
don't.
teeth, comb your hair, and get up to work.
Brush your hair.
All tonight, haven't I?
He has no hair. It's no way for
I'm
him.
giving up. I'm jacking up these ends. I'm going.
Yeah,
so-
now that's incredible. Like it is incredible. Some people don't. They just give up. They go in the
Yeah, a lot of people
garden.
that take D5s and just lie in bed all day.
Exactly. You don't do these things. You
Oh,
went
no.
on the batter and you had a few points a while ago to get you through a tough period of the tunnel, as you call it.
Yeah.
And now you're fucking.
And everyone always says that's always light at the end of the tunnel, don't they?
Yeah.
Sort of an old saying.
Yeah. Sometimes
So,
there's a fucking
it depends
train.
how-
Sometimes there's a train.
Yeah, but that's the problem, you see. It depends on how long the tunnel is.
Yeah.
My tunnel's going on now since 2014.
Yeah.
Hopefully now it's going to start coming out.
Yeah. But you've got an incredible resilience and incredible attitude. Your attitude is phenomenal.
But what do you do?
You know no different.
Yeah, we're survivors. We're
Survivors.
Back to Meat Street again.
Back
we're
to-
survivors.
Back to the liberties. Back to the
Rob the
liberties.
cakes out of bed, man. We're survivors. That's what we done. We survived, and
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe because other people were spoiled growing up, and they feel that the world owes them something. The world doesn't owe you anything.
No.
The world owes you nothing. It's down to you to take out the world what you want out of it. It's not down. No one's going to come along and hand you a job. No one's going to come along and feed you. So you go out and make your own money, feed yourself.
So here's the thing, and I done a workshop recently where I did the name of it, or the title for the workshop was "Nobody's coming to fucking save you."
Yeah, that's exactly.
No one's coming to save you, are they?
No one.
No, not even God. You got to ask. And actually, I
Yeah.
put up a post about this, and somebody was giving out to me because he said Jesus is coming to save you. This Jesus loving person. And I was like, look, you have to ask
what
for
time
help.
you at your door. What time you at your door? You know what I mean? It's not. You have to ask. You have to be wanting. You have to go out and make your own.
Yeah. Like if you fell into the liffey, in order for you to save it, someone's going to throw you a boy, and you have to take it. You have to grab it.
Yeah.
You have to grab the help. You have to ask for the help. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, as you say, my family, my friends, my community, we work together. It's a collaboration. But they're not going to come kicking in your door and dragging you out to help you.
Everyone helps you out
If
in
you-
the beginning. Everyone helps you in the beginning. Come on, a tragedy is a tragedy. Anyone dies belong to you. You have everyone around you. So once they're buried, then that's it. A week later, you sit in the house on your own, looking around, going, "Jeez, this time last week I had 50 people around me. This week I've no one." Well, I always have people around me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you know,
Like,
I know,
kids
I get what you mean.
But
Yeah.
I mean, other people, you don't know. So the only way out of it is get up and fucking carry on. You have no choice. Grin or bear it or don't. One or the other.
You got to save yourself, don't
Like
you?
it or lump it. You have to carry on.
Yeah.
That's, and I personally don't have any demons. I don't believe I have them anyway. Maybe they are there and they're trying to pick away at my brain at the moment. I don't know. But for today, I haven't got any demons.
For today.
For today, yeah.
And that's what this is all about, Darren, isn't it? Day by day,
Yeah,
day
for
by
today.
day.
Next week, no one knows what could happen to me.
No.
Could see me sitting in the fucking steps and me too shaking.
Yeah.
No one knows, do you know what I mean? But for today, I'm no demons. And I reckon that's what it is. Once them demons get into your head, you're fucked. If you feel like you want to be out of this world, them demons are in you, you're going to be over.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to save you. Fortunately.
Look, honestly, I feel privileged to sit here and do this interview. Thanks very much. Thanks for your courage, your honesty. Your honesty was deadly. Just and sharing your pain with me in service of our community, not just the geographical one, the liberties, but people all around the world that listen to our show from here to America. Like, that's inspirational, because these skills that you talk about, these get up and go, get on with the attitude, this is transferable to anything in life, whether it's a career, whether it's a trauma, grief, hobbies.
Well, sure, you're not going to get a job hand to you either.
No,
You
same
have
skill
to-
set.
yeah,
It's
exactly, you
this
have
is
to
an attitude, you know
Get
what
up
I
and
mean?
go. You have no choice. I don't know, as kids, if we fell on the ground, you'd be dragged up and say, "Go on, get up."
Yeah, people
Pushed
say to
on.
me, how do you do that? And I says, well, I don't know any other way not to do it.
That's-
Like
I
I
don't
was
know any other way.
struggling the other day, and I was like, what do I do? Do I stay in bed? No, I can't do that. I
That's
just have to keep...
feelings taken over your mind.
I didn't. I was like, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's your
I
mind.
still done it.
Your mind told you to grow up.
Yeah, get
Your
out of it.
feelings will tell you to stay in bed.
Yeah, no, I'm not feeling like I'm not in the
feelings.
humour for this. And I was like, you're just
Never
not...
let your feelings rule your head.
Yeah.
Never let them. Because when they start ruling your head, that's it, mate. Forget about it. You won't be going to work on Monday morning. You'll be going to Fountain.
Get the fountain back on. We know the new owner, John Foodie. We're hoping to do an interview with him. Listen, Darren, you're an absolute deadly human being. I wish you well. I send you prayers, love, kindness. I know you're not a God lover like myself. I'm mad into the Jesus. But I send you love and kindness, you and your family. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Fucking phenomenal, Andy. Absolutely phenomenal. Andy even got a bit of stick in there. Look, as I said from the start of this interview, if there's anything within this story that triggers you, brings up any pain or trauma or memories, please speak to somebody and get help. If you want to reach out to us, we'll point you in the right direction for professional support. We spoke about Shannon's Hope Line, Pieta House, Mental Health Warriors. There's lots of support in your community, some really, really good people. You know, there's loads of first aids, suicide first aiders. I'm a suicide first aider trained by the HSE. There's lots of splattered all around different communities if you need help. Your friends are cheaper than a psychiatrist sometimes. Just telling a pal, getting it off your mind can really help, you know. Don't carry this around alone. I'll always say that. As we did talk about here, you have to save yourself. Asking for help is saving yourself. Raising the white flag, you know. So that's all I'd say about that. As always, I want to thank Noel Riley from Rooney Media Graphics, Andy from Liberty Media Hub, the girls from Shannon's Hope Line do amazing work in mental health, grassroots, mental health and suicide prevention. To all the listeners, thanks very much. If you enjoy our show, please support and spread it with your friends and family. If you really, really love it and you want to support us, we have a Patreon page. You can send us over the price of a coffee. If you don't have the price of a coffee, you can listen for $3.99, no problem. Just mind your little self. Darren, thanks very much, pal.
Cheers, Matt.
Thanks. Guys, thanks a lot. Mind your little self as always. Bye-bye.